Let's talk about production drift. Now, in most applications, the code that is written in development environments is just copied to production systems. Right? And developers compile a exe or a DLL or a jar file, and that gets copied to the production systems. Whether it's servers or clients or anywhere, it doesn't matter. And it runs just as it was copied. It's not changed at all. Matter of fact, clients or operations typically can't even change the code. It's compiled and it's stored as a binary format. Now, in the version control system, there's a copy of this code, right? So what was deployed to the client and compiled, we actually have a copy in version control. And so development knows what was deployed and they can use that for future development as they change it. That's not always the case with databases. We can change code. Now, that could happen with other languages like JavaScript or HTML code. Typically, if somebody changes that code in production, there's usually an issue. Right? The changes might not be on all the different web servers or all the different clients. The changes might not be fed to development, and the next deployment comes and they'll change it overwritten. That's a challenge many applications face, but it's certainly a challenge in a database because we constantly change objects in production. It's often by design, right? DBAs have to ensure that there's good performance or data integrity. So a DBA might do something like add an index in production. It may not cause an issue in development, though it potentially could, right? Developers might understand why there's an index there. The bigger issue, though, is if I improve performance with an index, clients are happy, everything's good, we make a new deployment, we may wipe out that index, right? Depending on how the deployment is made, our performance drops, everybody's upset. This is a regression, and it's a challenge for database developers to deal with when production changes are allowed. The other type of change we could make is for data integrity. DBA might add a constraint, bind to default to ensure that there's good data in production, nothing's wrong. They solve an issue with that, and again, the next deployment might wipe it out, and that may be a bigger issue because developers may not expect that constraint to exist, and it may cause problems with application code, certainly could cause problems for clients with data integrity. The production database can change from the state it was deployed in, which is what's stored in version control and what developers expect. When that happens, we call this drift. It creates greater risk that future development might cause issues, greater risk that we may impact or disrupt the application for clients, and a greater risk that developers are actually building on an incorrect foundation of code and our future deployments may cause problems. We also have untested code in production, which is certainly an issue. We'll solve this later on in the course when we'll talk about how we account for production drift in our development.